So you're thinking about raising goats in Jamaica, but you don't know how much money it would cost to set up such an operation and how much you could possibly make from raising goats. Well, you're watching the right video if you want this answer. In this video, I'll tell you all you need to know before venturing into goat farming. Let's first look at the goat farming industry and a little about its history. Goats are domesticated species of goat antelope that are kept as livestock all around the world. Goats were first domesticated from the wild goat of Southwest Asia and Eastern Europe. They are related to sheep as they are from the animal family Bovidae and the tribe Caprini. There are over 300 distinct breeds of goats, and in 2011 there were more than 924 million goats living in the world according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Throughout the world, goats are raised for their milk, meat, fiber, and in some places kept as bush control. 3/4 of the global population eat goat meat, and it makes up 5% of worldwide meat consumption and 8% of red meat. According to data from the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), in 2021, the total production of worldwide goat meat reached 6.39 million tons, increasing by 5.1 million tons gradually since 1970. As for goat meat production, Asian and African continents are the top producers. Data from the FAO showed that the production of goat meat in Asia reached 4.7 million tons, representing 72% of the world's total goat meat production, and Africa reached 1.4 million tons, representing 23% of the world's total goat meat output. As for production of goat meat by country, China leads the list. They are the world's biggest producer, producing 2.5 million tons, with India being the second largest producer at 547,000 tons. As for the biggest consumers of goat meat, heading the list is Sudan, where 8.6 pounds of goat meat is consumed per person annually. Now let's look at goat farming. Goat farming involves raising and breeding of domestic goats. In Jamaica, they are raised primarily for meat. They can be raised on low quality grazing land and are therefore able to efficiently convert sub-quality grazing matter that is less desirable for other livestock into quality lean meat. Goat farming business can be very profitable, but it takes a little time and high initial investment to get a good operation going, and to be successful, it will take proper planning and good management. In Jamaica, goat meat was reserved for events such as parties, weddings, funerals, or any special events. But now that's changing. There has been an increase of home consumption of goat meat, and it's now available at most small to medium-sized restaurants and some school canteens. With the increase in goat meat consumption, Jamaica is only able to supply local markets with 25% of the meat, and according to Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Floyd Green, Jamaica spends $15.2 million annually to import goat and sheep meat. In 2020, Jamaica managed to produce 663,198 kilograms, which is 1,462,101 pounds of goat meat, and it is estimated that Jamaicans consume approximately 5 million kilograms or 11,023,113 pounds of goat meat annually. Goats are produced in all parishes of Jamaica, but they do best in the southern parishes that experience lower levels of rainfall. The most popular goat breeds in Jamaica are the native Creole goat, Boers, and Anglo-Nubian. The native or Creole goat is an indigenous goat which is believed to be a mixture of breeds whose origin is traced back to 16th century introductions by the Spanish. The Boer or Boer buck is a South African breed of meat goat that was selectively bred in the Eastern Cape from about 1920. The Boer goat was first imported to Jamaica from Canada, and the first organized importation was from the United States and has been used to improve the meat qualities of local breeds. The Nubian or Anglo-Nubian is a British breed of domestic goat. It originated in the 19th century from crossbreeding between native British goats and a mixed population of large loped-eared goats imported from India, the Middle East, and North Africa. It is characterized by large pendulous ears and a convex profile. The Anglo-Nubian was brought into Jamaica as early as 1907. Now let's look at one of the main issues facing goat farmers on the island: predial larceny. Predial larceny is the theft of agricultural produce. It is a practice that is negatively impacting the development of the agricultural sector, as many farmers abandon their operations because of constant theft of their animals and crop produce. It is estimated that Jamaican farmers suffer losses of more than 5 billion JMD per year due to predial larceny. Predial larceny affects the goat farming industry the most throughout the island because goats are easy and lucrative targets for criminals compared to other livestock such as cattle, as goats are easier to steal and maneuver due to their lighter weight. Therefore, farmers have to put in place various methods to ward off thieves, such as the use of cameras and security. Let's now look at how much it would cost to set up a goat farming operation, what you need and how much you could potentially earn. Before setting up a goat farm, here are some things you need to decide on and have in place. The first thing you have to do is make a budget and plan your operation in accordance to your budget. Next is, how much goats are you going to start with? Based on your budget, can you go straight into a large operation, or are you going to start with a few goats and slowly increase your herd as your business go along? Next is deciding what's the best breed of goat to raise in your area, what's the weather and temperature like in your area, and choose the breed of goat that can best tolerate such conditions. The next thing you have to ensure you do is to purchase your goats from trusted or certified breeders, because quality and healthy goats are very important in setting up your goat farming business. Do not go out and just buy a goat just like that. Ensure to inspect it properly. Choose your goats based on the operation you're planning to run. In Jamaica, goats are mostly raised for meat, so choose breeds that are bred for meat. Before you buy your goats, you have to consider housing of the animals. Ensure that your shed or goat house is built and ready for your first batch of animals. Ensure that you have access to clean water and water storage. Allocate land for fodder or foraging to reduce feed costs. Always check your animals on a regular basis and isolate all sick animals. Ensure to give pregnant goats and baby goats additional and attentive care, and ensure you keep good hygienic conditions in and around the goat house. Also ensure to practice proper record keeping. As for the amount of land you will need to raise goats, it depends on the number of goats you are planning on raising. Normally 10 acres of land is required to raise 500 goats including housing. Now, not everyone can start off with 10 acres of land and 500 goats. For many, a smaller operation is suited with a minimal quantity of goats. For example, starting off with 50 goats will require 1 acre of land. For a commercial goat farm, it is important to select your male to female ratio properly. For every 20 female goats, which are called does, will require 1 male goat, which we refer to as bucks. Ensure to choose the healthiest and strongest buck for breeding. Female goats start conceiving when they reach 18 to 20 months, and the gestation period, that is carrying the kid in the womb, lasts for an average 5 months, which leads to the process of goats giving birth, which is called kidding. After the kidding stage, next is weaning, and this stage all depends on several management and marketing factors. Goat kids can be weaned as early as 30 days of age, but it is better to wait until 6 to 8 weeks. With the gestation period being 5 months, breeding a goat and kidding once a year is highly recommended. So based on this, goats can breed 3 times in a 24 months period. In some operation meant for the production of meat, a fattening system is used. In the fattening system, which usually starts 3 to 4 months after weaning, male goats are selected and they are fed in a zero grazing system, where grass is harvested in the field and transported to the farm to be fed to the goats. Zero grazing lasts for 6 to 7 months, and at 9 to 10 months of age they can be sold. For this example, we will assume that your operation is meant for meat goat farming. You own the land that your operation is going to be set up on, and you have the necessary facilities set up such as housing and water tanks. We will also assume that the operation is semi-intensive. In a semi-intensive system, goats are kept in pens and allowed out to forage on natural vegetation. Cost of housing for goats will depend on the type of material it is built out of and the size. If you are using old or recycled materials, your housing will cost less to build, but if you are buying all your materials new, example lumber, zinc and fencing, it will cost a lot more. Building a goat shed or house will cost anywhere from $100,000 to 2 million Jamaican dollars, and again costs will vary depending on material and the size of the house. Now let's get into the numbers. In this example, our operation will consist of a total of 60 does and a total of 5 bucks. The weight of each doe is 25 kilograms or 55 pounds. The weight of each buck is 35 kilograms or 77 pounds. Total weight of all goats is 1,675 kilograms, which is 3,693 pounds. Price of live goats in Jamaica is around $600 per pound. So our total price for our goats is $600 times 3,693 pounds, which gives us a cost of 2,215,800 Jamaican dollars. Now we will look at feeding and cost, and we will look at feed consumed by goat kids first. So let's say each doe give birth to 1.5 goat kids. That means we will end up with 90 goat kids being born. The feed consumed by goat kids per 1 kilogram weight gain per week is 3 kilograms. The number of goat kids born is 90. The target weight for the goat kids in a 4 months time period is 16 kilograms, which is 35 pounds. Therefore, they will gain 1 kilogram per week for 16 weeks. So the total feed consumed by all goat kids to achieve target weight in 4 months is 4,320 kilograms, which is 9,524 pounds. Now, how much will feed cost? Well, it all depends on what you're feeding on, how much bags of feed, and how much fodder or foraging. The price will vary. Since the operation is semi-intensive, let's say half of the feed is from pellet and the rest is from forage. At the moment, goat ration sells at $2,460 per 25 kilogram bag, so our feed cost per kilogram is $98.04. Total feed cost for goat kids for 4 months is 2,160 kilograms from pellet feed, so that's 2,160 kilograms times $98.04, which gives us a cost of $212,544. Now let's calculate how much feed our adult goats consume. Total feed consumed by each adult goat per day is 0.2 kilograms. Total feed consumed by all 65 goats is 13 kilograms, which is 29 pounds. Feed consumed by adult goats for the entire year is 4,745 kilograms. Since our operation is semi-intensive, let's say our adult goats consume half of their feed amount from store-bought pelleted feed and half from foraging. That means 2,372.5 kilograms is from pellet feed and the rest is from forage. So our total feed cost for adult goats is 233,454 Jamaican dollars. Now our total feed cost is total feed for adult goats plus total feed for goat kids, which is $233,454 plus $212,544, which gives us a cost of $445,998. Now let's look at our other cost. Housing cost is anywhere from $100,000 to $2 million. In this example, let's say housing costs 1 million Jamaican dollars. Vaccination and medical costs will vary. You could also try to learn about certain vaccination and how you could administer them yourself in order to save on veterinarian visit. Vaccination and medication will cost about $83,160. Next is labor cost. You will probably need to employ 1 to 2 persons at about $9,000 per week. So let's say we employ 1 person. That's $36,000 per month, which is $432,000 per year. So our total cost for housing, vaccination and medicine plus labor is $1,515,160. Now let's look at how much we could make in our first year. Number of goat kids per batch is 90. Each goat kid weight in 4 months is 16 kilograms or 35 pounds. Total weight gain is 1,440 kilograms, which is 3,174.7 pounds. Live goat price is $600 per pound, while processed goat meat is $1,200 per pound. So if we are selling at live price $600 per pound, that's 3,174.7 pounds times $600, which gives us $1,904,820 in revenue. While processing farm meat, the weight would be less, around 2,250 pounds at $1,200 per pound, so that would give us $2,700,000 in revenue. Now let's look at the running or operating cost per batch of goats. Total feed cost for adult goats and goat kids is $445,998. Medication and vaccination is $83,160. Labor cost is $432,000. Electrical bill and transport is $50,000. Our total cost is $1,011,158. Now profit or loss from selling live goat is our revenue $1,904,820 minus our operating expenses $1,011,158, which gives us $893,662 in net income. Now if we are selling the processed meat, our profit or loss is our revenue $2,700,000 minus operating expenses $1,011,158, which gives us $1,688,842 in net income. Now our total fixed asset in this project would be cost of housing and cost of 5 rams and 60 does plus other equipments. Housing is $1 million, cost of ram and does is $2,215,800, so our total is $3,215,800. Our total investment is housing $1 million, cost of rams and does $2,215,800, total feed cost $445,998, vaccination and medication $83,160, labor cost $432,000. Our total initial investment to get this operation up and running is $4,176,958. Now I hope this information was helpful to anyone thinking about getting into goat farming. This breakdown is meant to be very simple. Different variables will result in different production input, cost, output, profit and loss, and will differ from examples shown in this video. Please subscribe, leave a comment, share this video with someone and suggest what video you want to see next. See you soon.